Atlanta United fan TV, I mean, that was just pretty much abjectly awful, I would say. But 3-0 on the road at El Gigante de Acero, where, I mean, it's a nightmare arena for us.
More like a nightmare pitch. That pitch was an absolute shambles. Like everything else on that pitch that evening, from the official to, honestly, Monterrey and the way that they shithoused their way to that one, fouling us, sticking, boots in wherever they could. Somehow, because the referee was so terrible, half of them escaped bookings. I think 29 fouled Pity Martinez at least 10 times. I mean, I was surprised at no point in time Pity got fouled so many times. A ref normally would go, next person that fouls him is getting booked to control the game. Because he's getting the shit kicked out of him. But nothing, nah, that's fine. The penalty was garbage. He threw himself at the floor. I mean, and then he goes in throwing Breck Shea to the... there was just so much awful. But you know what? We'll take it step by step on this one because there was a lot that was just objectively terrible.
Yeah, I think it starts with the starting lineup. Absolutely.
Oh, we've only seen this back three before. The last time we shipped 3 goals to Herediano. So let's do it again and ship 3 more goals to Monterrey. We've played the back line twice in the Champions League away. We've played 3 away games, lost every single one, been clean sheeted twice. We've only scored goals off an own goal against Herediano, which is a terrible team, and then 4 goals at home against Herediano, who were awful. They were abject. They offered nothing. They sacked their manager. They're like languishing in the Costa Rican divisions. That's the only team we've looked good against. DC, nothing in attack. Nothing in attack. What are we trying to do? I mean, I understand that this takes patience, and I even said it at my last fan cam, but this has been 4 games. And in each of the away games, Atlanta United have offered absolutely nothing. Nothing. I can get behind it if there's a theory, there's something I can kind of see what you're trying to do. I have no clue what Atlanta United are trying to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, we look bereft of ideas. The width is non-existent, even though we have the numbers.
We're playing wide. The team's playing wide. Ideally, you stretch everyone wide to stretch the defense to create more space to pass the ball around. But no one can pass the ball. Mikey Ambrose is useful on the left. He is useless on the right. It's not his fault. He can't play there. He's trying his best. I can't fault him for it, but Frank de Boer should know better not to play him there. It's not working. You have 2 in midfield. You routinely, the defense gets absolutely compact, leaving massive gaps in space on the other side for teams to easily cross the ball. That's why every single time the ball is crossing, we think the other team's going to score. So if you're going to play with width, you'd expect to get something from your wide men. You're playing a 3-4 or 4 whatever, 3-4-3. Sorry, and you have wingbacks who give you no width. You have wingers who cut inside and give you no width, but you have no one able to make runs from midfield because you only have 2 of them there. And if one of them leaves, there's space to counter on, and the defense is never in position because they're playing in the wrong positions. Like, genuinely, I don't understand if he's trying to prove a point, but we have footage showing players what they can do. This team won MLS Cup convincingly. This team had one of the best seasons, the 2nd best statistical season in MLS history last season. You have a goal scorer who can score goals, who gets no service. He gets nothing. He looks pissed. Of course he looks pissed. He can't get the damn ball, and if he can't get the damn ball, how are you supposed to have the best goal scorer in the league do what he's good at, which you signed into a 5-year contract extension, and that's score goals?
Yeah, it seems like to me, definitely, PT and Joseph, they're just too far away from each other on the pitch, for one.
They look miserable as well.
Yeah, there wasn't a smile on their face cracked the entire night because, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
Look, I don't want to make this at all about Manchester United, but this looks exactly like Louis van Gaal plus Jose Mourinho. You have players who love to attack. That's what they do. That's what this club is about. And when he was first mentioned, I said I was worried because of Louis van Gaal. This is Louis van Gaal. Slow, sideways, no tempo, no space.
Bereft of ideas.
Bereft of ideas. Sideways, backwards. These are players that want to get forward. That's what they can do. Well, some of them can, because some of them shouldn't be playing the positions that they're playing, which just compounds the problem. Because no one is able to play in the position they're comfortable in, which means they don't have the confidence to do what they need to do.
Yeah. No, we're down really large going in. We don't, we don't even have the benefit of an away goal. So yeah, you think that the tie's over?
Tie's dead.
Should we just play the kids in this match, or do you think? I mean, he's probably still going to roll out the same.
He might roll out the same at this point because clearly he doesn't know how to change. I mean, makes 2 substitutions in the 90th minute. That's really going to impact things with 3 minutes added on against a Mexican team that's just going to shithouse the final few minutes anyway. I mean, what was that supposed to do? Genuinely, how does that work? Oh, I'm going to bring Lorinowitz on, but I'm not going to play a midfield 3 that I need to do. Atlanta United can play 3-5-2. That's how we won a flipping title. That's how he won a title. Why are you trying to change everything? You can still play your possession game within that. And if people want to say, oh, it's not the formation's fault, yes, it is. There's no gaps. There's nobody making runs. There's just massive amounts of sideways passing and empty space with no penetration. So, yes, it is the formation. It's not working. I mean, again, I stress patience, and I want to trust that the front office made the right decision. But right now, for all the defending that we did in the preseason leading up to this is a lot more Crystal Palace, Inter Milan than it is Ajax. I mean, we have to see some sort of idea. What are we trying to actually do? Because if I see it, yes, it may take time. Pep Guardiola finished 4th at Man City his first year, and he was incredible the second season. But you saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to attack, but in a certain way. Atlanta United cannot attack. We have none. There is no presence, and you have the South American Player of the Year and possibly the best goal scorer in MLS history on the pitch at the same time, and yet you cannot even get shots on target. What does that say? How do you take a Ferrari and turn it into like a 40-year-old freaking minivan that barely works and has a busted transmission because it can't figure out how to get out of first gear?
So, I think you've made your points known.
I mean,
it's
like we have to back him because we don't want to develop, a reputation as a fan base that says, oh, we've lost some games, chuck the manager, because that's not what we want to be. But, like, this is objectively terrible. I mean, objectively terrible, and no one can defend what's happening because no one knows what they're trying to do. So, yes, we have to defend them. They're going to come in, we're going to raise a championship banner on Sunday against FC Cincinnati. But they did decent for their very first outing against Seattle. They got overwhelmed in the end. But if we play like this and they score a goal, are we going to score anything? Because genuinely, I don't know if we will. But we have to support the team. We have to be rowdy. We have to be proud because we have to try to lift the players to know that it still means something to us. But if things don't get going, then yeah, questions are really going to start being asked because I don't want to jump on the De Boer train out because that's stupid. But you keep turning in performances like this, you keep giving fans no idea what your vision, what your future plan is. I'm sorry, I don't care what you did at Ajax or what your vision is or how you can transform and evolve this club. You're not doing it. So we have to see if there's some changes. But right now, good luck with that.
All right, man. Appreciate the time.